So Witchcraft has been a team for 10 days. In that time, they've had an 8-hour scrim review meltdown, got upset by a development team as heavy favorites, and got knocked out in the group stage of EMEA Masters. But to their defense, I'm not sure this was ever meant to be a long-term project. So let's break down exactly what happened with Witchcraft. In case you missed it, because the team literally just began, here's a quick background to get you up to speed. After Los Ratones disbanded following LEC versus, most of the core decided they weren't done playing yet. Nemesis, Crownie, Reckless, Velja, and coach Yamato Cannon regrouped under a new name, Witchcraft. And they had but one goal in mind: qualify for the Esports World Cup through EMEA Masters. To do that, they needed a top 2 finish and came in as the NLC's 4th seed. But the big question was who replaces Baus, because Baus had already said multiple times he was done with full-time pro play.
Can I be transparent with you guys? Bro, pro play is ass. Play safe under the tower. Respect to the weak side. Bro, this is just not me, you know? This is not me.
So they went and signed Bwipo, still one of the best Western top laners of his generation, though a name that came with some off-rift baggage heading into the split. I've covered that in detail in previous videos, the links to those in the description below. So the team announces on March the 4th. They've got less than a week to prep before EMEA Masters kicks off, and they had barely scrimmed together as a full roster before the tournament began. And before they even play a game, something happens. Velja, while live on Twitch, accidentally left on footage from a scrim review. What people saw was a pretty heated discussion between Crownie and Velja over a bot lane prio situation. The reason everyone saw this at all was because Velja had left a screen share visible on stream, meaning thousands of viewers suddenly had a live look at a private team review.
He has TP. How does he lose lane with TP? He just TP's back.
You crash a wave on him, you crash a wave, you stack a wave, you crash it, you base, you walk back, and then
I don't want to base on Kate or for shit items.
I mean, if you don't want to buy cold, then TP into Caitlyn is the biggest counter I've ever heard. Because he's just going to win lane then.
Because I'm sorry, but
how am I the person here that dictates the crap when Ezreal is not moving his ass?
I'm not talking about the crap, I'm talking about your lane 2v2. I'm having a discussion about your lane 2v2 and why you doing what you're doing is losing your lane.
It's not losing my... How is it losing my lane? Like, I'm completely chilling and I'll get a good
If you don't get it, that's fine, bro. Like, I explained it very clearly to you.
I mean, all I'm saying is that I literally don't have bot prio for the scuttle. And Ezreal TP has nothing to do with that.
Okay, sure. 2 different topics. You think right now Ezreal is not in a better condition than you?
Do you think we could play this in a better way? Me and you, Velja?
Like, even if I base and come back, they
but base has nothing to do. You can't base. Sorry, Crownie, but you can't base because you did. I think you just you lost 2v2. I mean, I don't know how you should have.
What? I lost 2v2?
I'm sorry, but we didn't even have a timer to base because we never crashed the wave in the first place.
How can I crash the wave? How is it an issue if the matchup is not winning enough to crash the wave when they can all in me level 2, use flash on Ezreal and base TP?
If it's not winning, then my bad. If it's I just thought it's winning, then you can tell me that it's not.
No, it's just not winning.
He just not okay.
Summoners.
Sure, then I don't know. Yeah. I thought Caitlyn is really OP. Like.
Yeah, guys, I think Ezreal does actually win lane without melee support on in level 2. Yeah, I think that's how the game has worked.
I appreciate it.
10 years with 5 passive stacks and 100 damage Q. Yeah, I think he wins lane actually.
But can you not get all in and like hit the wave for prior? Can you play it better? If not, then sure, we don't have bot prior and I accept it. Which is a bit weird to me since we're playing Caitlyn. And with range support as well. Into melee support. I feel like if I had melee support in the range, I wouldn't have prior here. That's all I'm gonna.
Bro, Velja, you'd be 0-10 if you played melee support, please. Like, let's not use that as an example. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm hearing right now. Like,
no, I'm not saying. I'm saying if we were playing, if you switch bot laners, I'm sorry. All I'm trying to say, I feel like if you switch bot lane matchups.
Can you show me where enemy team has prio? They're using 2 summoners to be able to play the game, and we use 0. Where does enemy
they don't have
prio here? Where do they have prio right now? They are using 2 summoners. He is forced to TP flash level 2 on Ezreal to be able to play the game.
Okay, why not taking prio here? Why not taking prio here?
Yeah, right now, if you just full hit with little tempo.
Why are you not getting prio?
You have double sums against no sums, and you're
I'm sorry.
right now. You are playing safe.
What are you saying?
What? I can crash this wave right now. No.
Yeah, you should.
But then they have prio. You're contradicting yourself, brother. I'm sorry, Crownie, but you're crazy for this.
You're trolling. They use 2 summoners. This is actually insane. I'm not speaking anymore.
Now in the scrim, Crownie's lane was in a spot where they could have had priority for the scuttle fight, but chose not to take it. Velja was frustrated because the lack of prio cost them the crab. Resources they probably didn't have to give up, in Velja's eyes anyways. Crownie's argument was that they didn't lose the lane, they just chose not to have prio, which is a fair distinction. And Bwipo and Nemesis then joined the conversation, and by most accounts it didn't stay particularly productive from there. They ended up rewinding and replaying the same scuttle fight over and over for hours. So yeah, just take a look.
I honestly, first of all, Velja, why are you even asking things when you have no fucking clue about the game? That's like the first thing, right? It's like you're saying things you have no clue about the game. I'm sorry, it's like so infuriating.
I want these things to be explained to me. I'm sorry. I want these things to be explained to me. If I'm quiet 24/7,
lose my mind.
Brother, if I'm quiet 24/7, I will never know anything. So on that note, oh, I won't learn. Oh,
you're not even trying to learn, man.
Sorry, how? I am the only person that is willing to accept feedback in this team. The only person, by the way, the only person.
God, bro.
Yeah, sure, you can say, "Oh my God," and you don't say anything after that. You can do that. But I'm telling you, I'm asking. I'm literally asking.
The last 3 minutes,
but I'm asking, how do we have prio when he's saying we have prio when we don't have prio?
You're arguing with him when he's explaining to you, and
can I explain to you? If I hard push this wave, Ezreal catches it, doesn't need to TP. If I keep it here, he's forced to TP and use 2 summoners. That is the difference.
This conversation is useless because he fundamentally doesn't understand how lane works. And even when after you explain to him, he still doesn't get it.
Then he don't have a prio. If he can't crash, he don't have prio. Simple as that.
Can I have my conversation with Mary Carey? I asked you a question.
Sure, ask me a question. Ask me a question, yes.
Do you think it's bad to crash a wave on a guy that has TP when you're...
If I will try to crash this next wave, Leona will hold and Jace will click to bot and I will be in danger. Yes or no? If I try to crash the wave coming right now.
So you have a ward and you have a jungler too. So you're telling me that when the guy has no sums, he's no flash, right? That you can't communicate that you need to crash the next wave and your Vi can be the one moving too?
That is completely in play.
If
I'm Caitlyn, I would never call my jungler bot. Like that, what is that?
Me neither. I would go ward and push this wave and crash it in myself. But
you cannot do it. Like you're just.
That's the whole point. If he can't crash, we don't have prio.
We're not discussing that.
But I'm discussing that because we're saying we're having prio when we don't.
I will do it myself, then it's fine. Like, you guys enjoy it. Obviously, if you don't want to work here, but I'm telling you right now, you can win this.
I mean, Velja is just screaming when we're replying to you. Like, what is there to say?
What I'm trying to tell you is if Caitlyn wants to win her lane, I can help you understand how to win the lane. If you want to get TP'd on and lose your lane, then you enjoy that, my friend.
Okay, Bwipo. Okay. And then I push the wave, I base, and he catches the wave and matches base and buys a longsword, and he still is totally fine with me.
After this play, you will never get power on him.
I will.
Yeah, you can leave.
I will not continue this. I will not continue this. I'm sorry.
Take care, Reckless. Take care.
No, you can leave. Don't worry.
I don't think this is good for me, so I will just leave. Sorry,
Take
guys.
care.
I'm out. This is pointless. I'm out.
Look at right now. No, look at my replay. I'm showing replay. How can Ezreal ever move? Okay, how can Ezreal move to river here? How does he have prio? This lane state is fucking equal, and I push one into him. How does he have prio?
But that's
can you move back? Look at the timer.
What the fuck are you saying?
Can you move back? Can you move back?
Show me where he has prio, dude.
Do you know
he cannot move into river. He can't. Show me where he can move.
You're telling me he cannot just Q this wave and have prio.
Then how pushing his lane is over!
What do you mean? He can't move 2 seconds per card. He can't.
No, he can't, because then I Q the wave. I Q the wave and he loses
he
push.
Cannot move.
Yes.
He cannot move. They push me out and he goes back to wave and
but he had 1 second of prio. He has no prio.
1 second. You're right. Yeah.
Now, before we actually dive into that clip that started all this, Witchcraft is gone. So you might be considering jumping back to watching First Stand. And if that's the case, this video's sponsor is for you. You know who they are. OperaGX are Riot partners, and they've built a dedicated Riot hub inside their browser. You can pull up the full First Stand schedule, see every match, click any day to check who's playing, and it auto adjusts to your time zone too, which is actually really useful if you suck at time zones like me. And there's a co-streaming hub so you can watch directly through the browser with whatever streamer you want, as is a lot of people's preference these days. To unlock it, you just install one of the official LoL champion mods from the GX store. Lee Sin, Cassante, Renekton, a bunch of others, and that gives you access to the whole hub. The mods also reskin the browser with music, sounds, themes, the whole shebang. It's actually pretty sick if you're a League of Legends addict, which I'm sure a lot of you are. Oh, and it's also got a built-in ad blocker and VPN. And if you're switching over from Chrome, all your bookmarks and extensions import across in like 2 clicks. It's super, super easy. They've thought of everything. Links are in the description below. Go check it out because it's actually really good. And it wasn't just the Witchcraft players. Other voices started coming in too to give their input. Doublelift, Pobelter, Kirei, and Yamato Cannon all ended up on the call at some point, with some of them joining while watching Nemesis' stream. So the review ran for about 8 hours and wrapped up at 1 AM. Reckless, for his part, quietly dipped out early after saying it's not good for me to be here, just protecting his peace, I guess. From a league standpoint, the general takeaway wasn't necessarily that one specific call was completely wrong. Many analysts said the bigger issue was the communication around it, but what the moment did highlight was something a lot of people would later point out. Witchcraft had a lot of strong voices and a lot of shot calling experience. Bwipo, Nemesis, Crownie, and Velja are all players with very strong opinions on how the game should be played, and some analysts felt the team had too many shot calling perspectives without enough structure around them. So that's the team situation heading into Masters. The tournament itself actually started well though. Witchcraft beat BAM Esports 2-0 in their opening match and moved to the upper bracket. They then ran into G2 Nord. G2 Nord is a collaborative development team between G2 and Nord Esports, both of whom Los Ratones had beaten, so Witchcraft came in as heavy favourites. In fact, nearly 75% of fans expected them to win. In Game 1, they took cleanly. It looked good. But in Game 2, with a solid gold and killed lead, they weren't able to close it out. G2 Nord found their way back in and they took it. Game 3 went the same way. Nemesis was keeping them in it, but a few late game calls didn't go their way and G2 Nord closed the series. Witchcraft dropped to the lower bracket, took care of BAM again, then they had to face G2 Nord one final time in the group decider. Win, and they're through to the playoffs. Lose, and it's over for Witchcraft. The G2 Nord AD carry Rin had been calling out Crownie on stream after the first series win, so there was already a bit of edge going into the rematch. And then in Game 2 of the group final, Rin's power went out. Citywide outage, there was nothing you could do about it, but it did force the series to pause mid-game. G2 Nord were actually in a strong position at the time, so Witchcraft got a bit of a lifeline there and they took it, coming back to win Game 2 and force a Game 3. But G2 Nord still closed it out anyway at 2-1. And so, Witchcraft eliminated in the group stage, and that's their story. Formed March 4th, eliminated March 14th, 10 days. Nemesis was, of course, the standout performer throughout, carrying form straight over from Los Ratones. But on stream after the elimination, Crownie opened up about what he felt was going wrong. He pushed back on people flaming him for his performance, pointing out that playing carry when the enemy top laner has 15 kills isn't exactly straightforward, and that even playing when he had Baus on his team, the enemy top was never that fed, which is kind of like silent shots at Bwipo.
I mean, I don't know, people flame me, but I feel like there was not really many team fights. Like in Game 2, there was not any real team fights. And then I get flamed the Jhin game for dying to Aurora, but I'm sorry, but I'm not used to playing against top laners with 15 kills. Even when we played with Baus, enemy top was never this fed.
But more significantly, he said he'd spoken against the team's game plan every single day leading up to the series. His read was that after the scrim review drama, Velja felt like he had an ally in the coaching staff, and thus the team started gravitating toward top lane as a result. Crownie said he raised this with coaches constantly and felt like it never got fixed or addressed. So whether you agree with his take or not, it does paint a picture of a team that was dealing with some real internal problems right up until the end. Caedrel also chimed in with a bit of his own experience with the boys when they played on the Rats. Contextually, I thought it was relevant enough to give scope, so here you go with that clip.
Did you see the drop? Yes, of course I saw the clips. That was pretty bad, actually. I don't think I've ever seen it that bad. The problem, and I mean this and this is the only time I'm going to touch on this topic, okay? I worked with those two boys for over a year. I love them both genuinely as people. And they love each other as people. They do. If you see Crownie and Velja away from computers, they are laughing and hanging out all day away from computers. But for some reason, this is a problem that's just never been fixed. When it comes to League of Legends, these two, instead of talking with each other, they just talk past each other and at each other. And their entire goal of finding a solution to something is proving the other one wrong. And I don't know why they do this. It pisses me off all the time. I have to always pull them out of it and stop them being like, this is the problem, here's a solution, move on. But I just wish from the bottom of my heart, I just wish these two would just talk with each other and not at each other. It's like, bro, it doesn't matter who f***ed up or who's doing what wrong. Let's just figure out the solution. Let's be happy about the solution and let's just move on. It's not that deep. It's really not that deep.
Following all this as well, Baus of course gave his take, citing kind of most of what's just been said here about the team not being able to see eye to eye. But I couldn't help but laugh as he loads into his solo queue game and someone all chats and says that they can't win without Baus.
I honestly don't know what happened. Like, I don't know. I think we all thought that this Witchcraft team would do like way better. Like way better. This is crazy. It's crazy what happened yesterday. To me, from what I've seen, I haven't really seen everything, right? So I can't really give my fullest opinion, but from what I've seen, the little I've seen, it feels like they had issues seeing eye to eye on certain topics. From first-hand experience, I can tell you that it's not easy to... I'm a stubborn person. I'm a very stubborn person, so when someone tells me I'm doing something wrong and I should change the way I'm doing stuff, I get very stubborn about it. And I think that was like a big issue that VT had. Is people don't want to change how they view things. And they only see the way they see stuff, and you know, they want to play the game how they want to play. That's exactly how it works in professional League of Legends. Is you can be the greatest 5 players of all time, but if you don't see eye to eye on certain topics and you don't play in a similar way as your teammates, you're not gonna get very far. That's the thing. You need to work together, so it's very important to find some type of teamwork when you're playing professionally like that.
Now the team's future is genuinely unclear from here. They came back specifically for EWC and that path is now closed. Whether Witchcraft continues in any form is an open question, but it's not looking good, especially with how heated it was when everyone left. From announcement to elimination, the Witchcraft experiment lasted only 10 days. Let me know down below, do you think they could have made it work with more time, or was this always going to be a tough ask? I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.